So we're going to be reading Outside today because it's gorgeous. And you might remember that we are reading Wonder Show. And last time we left, we found out that for Portia, the circus and her father leaving had become intertwined because that was the last time that she has this memory of him sort of thinking about leaving, or she thought he was thinking about leaving. And so we're going to find out what happens next when he does leave. So this chapter is called Gone. When he finally departed, her father said the same things her aunts and uncles and cousins all had said. I will come back for you. This is not goodbye. This is our only chance. And the last thing, always, be brave. Someone always said that. This time, it was Max. Don't tell me that, Portia whispered, and Max looked suitably ashamed. He should have known better, she thought. He should have given her something of his own to keep. It won't be long, he said softly. He said it into the air above Portia's head like a blessing over her, like a prayer. As long as it takes, Sophia told Max. I'm not going anywhere. Max made himself believe her. He kissed Portia one more time and climbed into his truck. Portia angrily rubbed her cheek as the motor started, wiping Max's kiss away, and then immediately regretted it when she saw his pained expression in the rearview mirror as he drove away. There were no other children her age around anymore, so Portia was the only one there with Aunt Sophia. She was the only one who stood in the road and choked on the dust that rose up behind her father's truck. The only one who cried dirty tears that night, unless Sophia cried too, which was very hard to imagine. She was the last storyteller in her haunted forest, and Aunt Sophia was an unkind audience. Nonsense, she barked. All that stuff about goblins and trolls. Your mind is ridiculous, Portia. Don't you believe in monsters? Portia asked. I believe in bears, Sophia replied, and I believe in the devil. Those aren't monsters. You face them down, and then tell me that. Portia imagined her barrel-shaped Aunt Sophia doing battle with the devil and an army of bears, and then thought better of asking if such an event had ever taken place. Even if it had, Sophia would never tell her about it. Aunt Sophia didn't believe in stories. She believed in practical knowledge, in cooking, in planting a garden, in survival. She believed in staying where God had put her, which was why she agreed to hold on to Portia until Max returned. Sophia had meant what she said. She wasn't going anywhere. Portia. Papa said he didn't want to leave, but he had to. Whenever I didn't want to do something, but I had to, it was because Aunt Sophia made me. So I asked Papa, who was making him leave, and he said, money. And I got angry, because money isn't a person, it's a thing. So he wasn't answering my question. Then Papa went to pack up the truck, and he hugged me real tight and said, I'm going to miss you so much, little bug. And I made him let me go, because I wasn't little anymore. I was 9, and he should have known better. I think Papa left because there was no more whiskey, and no more music at night. There was plenty of work to do, and we could have done it together. I would have helped. I wouldn't have argued when Papa asked me to do anything, even if it was something hard, like mend the latch on the sheep pen. But it wouldn't have been that, because there was no more sheep either. I told myself, Papa went to find the sheep and bring them back to me. I'm going to wait for him every day. I'm going to be a good girl for Aunt Sophia. I'm going to learn new stories for when Papa comes back. And I'm never going to stop waiting. The apple tree. It was where Portia did her best waiting, under the apple tree. The tree was not very big, and she liked that because so many places made her feel smaller than she wanted to be. She was shaded from sun and rain there. There was a curve in the trunk that fit against her back like another body, and it helped her remember what it was like to be held, to be safe. Aunt Sophia did not hold her. Aunt Sophia took care of her, fed her, kept her clean and dry, taught her what Aunt Sophia knew how to teach, manners, church-going, and cooking. There were always apples on the ground with soft brown spots from falling and sitting still too long. Portia bit into one that looked more perfect than the others, but it did not taste like an apple. It was hard and bitter. She spit out the bite she'd taken and laid the rest of the apple back on the ground, bite side down, so it looked perfect again. If she lay against the trunk of the tree and looked up through the branches, she could see only bits of the sky and the clouds passing over the leaves like a moving picture made just for her. When the road was too empty to watch anymore, Portia had this other view to comfort her. When, after a while, that was not enough, she knew it was time to go back inside. She was careful with her apple tree. She did not ask too much of it. While I was waiting, from the notebook of Portia Ramini, a partial list of things that happened accidentally in the year I lived with Aunt Sophia. 1. A small fire involving dining room curtains and candles during an attempted seance to call forth the ghost of William Howard Taft. 2. A disagreement as to the meaning of the word disagreement between myself and one Miss Eugenia Throgmorton, headmistress, Sutton County Day School. 3. The loss of an entire batch of newly carded wool, which was left outdoor during a rather exciting thunderstorm. 4. The acquisition of a mild case of influenza, resulting from the exploration of waist-deep sinkholes in the midst of said thunderstorm. And the following incidents which took place in church. 1. Daring escape by mouse from pocket of my dress. 2. Similar escape by salamander, same pocket, different Sunday. 3. So-called defacement of prayer missals in which certain words were altered in unsavory directions. 4. Unfortunate misfire of P from pea shooter, leading to the removal of P from Miss Eugenia Throgmorton's ear. All of the above were completely unintentional, not to mention unfairly punished. And I think we will stop there for today, and I will see you next time. Bye.